Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Built Like This podcast. I'm your host Maxine on episode 326. Hello. Okay, it's been a rough couple of days, okay? More than a couple. As you know, I live in Houston, Texas, and we've been hit with Hurricane Beryl, and it's been barreling me. I wrote that myself. No, but seriously, it's been such a struggle. Thankfully, my power returned. I think it was like four to 5 days without it. 4.5, I would say. The last 2 days, I was in Austin with Freckles Bay, and so I was there with power, with internet, and I was able to record last episode. But I'm home now, and though I do have power, so my AC's on, I can charge my devices just fine, my refrigerator works, my power is back, but my Xfinity is still out. And so it's been almost 2 weeks now without Xfinity internet service, and I am through the roof. I'm trying to keep myself composed, but I'm just so frazzled, to say the least. I feel just out of sorts. Thankfully, though, I'm able to watch my shows or just be on my phone on YouTube, particularly, and other apps. I could use it just fine. I mean, Instagram and TikTok, I can't really use it as efficiently as I was. But nonetheless, I've been able to watch my shows on YouTube and YouTube TV and stuff like that. So that's been working. And that's due to just, you know how with Xfinity, they have hotspots. And so I'm able to, there's a network available of Xfinity. It's literally called Xfinity in one of the networks. And I'm able to connect to it. Even though it keeps saying buffering on the side, it still shows that it's connected to it. So thankfully to that, I'm able to be connected with you all, but only on my phones. See how I said phones with an S? Because I have two phones, one for my hoes and one for, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. I got a joke during these times, but I got the new iPhone. Well, there's going to be a new one coming up in in a month actually, because you know how they do. But I decided to finally upgrade my phone to the iPhone 15. And when I spoke to the Xfinity person in person at the store, he mentioned this promotional deal and if you just add another line. So I decided to keep my iPhone 11. So it's an active phone. So yeah, I have two phones. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, but I can only connect on my phones. I can't connect on my computer, on my MacBook, and my TV can't connect to the Xfinity service or the Xfinity network that somehow only connects on my phone. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm just frazzled and I just feel annoyed. I'm just, this summer, honestly, I don't want to say it sucked, but it wasn't my favorite. And I know it's still July and there's still some hope, but I'm saying this because I worked the month of June, my summer job that I decided to do, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. It was a good job and I may do it again next year, and it was cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful that I got the income from that and the experience. It was cool. But I'm just saying this to say I only had the month of July to really relax and not work and, still get paid because, education. Woo, woo. But I was just taken aback because the first two to 3 weeks of July have been like this. It's been no power, going through storm after storm, because prior to Hurricane Beryl, there was another hurricane that lasted only a day, only a few hours within a day. And it wasn't that much of a big deal, but my power did come, like my power was out for a day or two during that time. And that was just like 2 weeks prior to Hurricane Beryl. So I'm saying all this to say it's been back to back rainstorms, hurricanes, and there was even a tornado watch. And having power outages, Xfinity outage, it's just been so non-relaxing, so stressful. And I hate to just bombard you guys with this type of sentiment, but that's just where I've been. I'm trying to keep my head afloat and trying to keep a schedule that I've been holding on to, working out, and I've been working out. I've been doing my best to do that, but it's just different because cause I feel like some people may think, oh, what's the big deal? You can still access your internet through your. It's not the same, you guys. Like it's not the same. Like I need my TV to work as such. I need to be able to use my computer as such and not feel tied to having to go out to a cafe shop to get some work done or to get anything that I want to get done that's on my computer. And it's just been so, I don't know, I'm trying to, anyway, let me write a gratitude list because I did that before and that really helped my attitude. But I'm kind of feeling it right now. Anyway, but I'm trying to keep hope alive. Every time Xfinity talk about, your Wi-Fi, your services has been restored, it's a lie. Every time I check my modem, it's the same crap. Anyway, so I got that off my chest, and here we are. I'm just trying to be grateful, and I'm like, should I just leave Houston? Should I just? And look, there are other places that have just natural disaster situations, and I don't know. It's a whole different conversation because I'm understanding now the reason why it's more of a big deal here in Houston is the privatization of the grid system here. Because it's private, it takes longer for energy to be restored, leaving many Houstonians without power. And maybe if you live closer to an area that is required to have, every place should be required, but like more emergency situations. So like if you live near a hospital, maybe even a school district. Well, no, I live near a school district. But if you live next to a hospital, you may not have much of this issue, if at all. Anyway, but here we are. We're going to push through. Things are going to get better. I'm going to keep the faith. But the way that my depression is kicking in, it's been a struggle mentally. I've been trying my best. Even coming on here. And so you may be thinking, how are you able to record? So I don't know if you guys remember, I've always had this audio recorder device. Is the Zoom Live Track 8. And so I'm able to record. This is the one with the sound machines that I added a little sound pad to it. It's pretty cool. And the money that I spent to get this, I should be using it again. I just haven't because I've been trying to implement the visual aspect of this podcast. So I've only been using StreamYard. And of course, you need Wi-Fi to use that on your computer. And since the Wi-Fi is not working on my computer and only on my phone, it just wasn't going to work out. So here we are. That's a little catch up on me. Where have you been? What's going on? In case you were wondering, that is what's been happening. Now let's talk about what's been happening in our society today. Sorry, I had to drink some water. I feel like I'm talking so fast. So give me a second. Whew. Okay. So Trump has been shot. He's been targeted and allegedly assassinated, or an attempt to assassinate him. And I'm saying this allegedly because there's been a lot of conversation regarding the validity of this assassination, this attempted assassination. Now, it's a longer conversation that I feel like has been already discussed in detail ad nauseum at this point. But I do want to say this. I think because this time that we're in right now is so divided between Democrats and Republicans, and it's not even Republican. It's just, are you a Trump supporter? Because even if you are just a longtime Republican, prior to Trump being in office, prior to Trump trying to run again, it has been just usurped by Trump, MAGA, or nothing, right? So anytime you show any dismay towards the Democratic Party, towards Biden, you're immediately met with this hate, with this vitriol, because you dare to say, hey, look, I think Trump has a lot of good points. Hey, look, I kind of hear what he's saying here. Or, hey, look. So it's been very harsh and violent during these times, especially since we are 4 months away from the next election, the next presidential election. And Biden has not been showing us that he is capable of continuing his tenure as the president of the United States of America. He's done the 4 years, and I think the last 2 years has been a struggle. His mental health, his mental capacity, I don't know about his mental health, let me not say that, mental health, but like clearly his overall stability and well-being has declined. We could see that shift and that decline very clearly. Like there's no denying that. And even the Democratic Party is fessing up to the reality of that he is not as sharp and witty and just well suited and capable to continue his reign as president. Now, a part of the conversation is, well, his vice president is. And though Biden may not be able to continue, you're voting for Kamala. Kamala is sharp. She is capable. She can and she will lead us accordingly as the free country that we are. And that's a whole different conversation. Like, do you want Kamala Harris to be the one driving this boat? Do you want her? Do you agree with her? And I don't know if I don't. There's nothing about her that has made me feel like she is capable of confidently leading us and making it so that she makes sense. She doesn't make sense. A lot of things that she says, like there's a whole compilation of her speaking and saying nothing at the same time. What has burdened me has been, let me see if I can find that again. Remember I talked about that with y'all? But the point is, there are so many examples of her just not making sense. And yet we're just supposed to go forward just because anything but Trump. I don't agree with that. I really don't. So anyway, this is where we are. This is where we are right now. And let me see if I could find that clip. That shit's so funny though. What has burden is not the burden now. Some dumb crap. Anyway, I can't find it right now, but nonetheless, this is where we are. So that's one. Two, Trump is much more capable in just conversation to make us feel like, okay, at least he could converse, at least he's coherent, at least he's comprehensible. And I also want to give some grace to Biden at the same time, because he may be experiencing dementia. He may be experiencing Parkinson's disease. There could be something wrong with him, and we're all making fun of the fact that he can't string a sentence together. We're all making fun of the fact that he called Zelensky Putin when he was introducing him before the people. So that was funny. That was actually funny. That was funny. But here we are. And it's another conversation of the lesser of two evils. I get that. I surely do. But this is where we are. Do you want to vote for RFK? Look, I like him. I do. But I don't think he's what we need. So I was about to mimic him in the way he speaks, but I'm not going to do that because that's not okay. But that's just the point of what I'm saying. His speech is too distracting for us to have him as the I don't think it's not going to work. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And God bless him. But it's not going to work. So yeah, I mean, Trump may be it. And I think we have to just come to terms with that. And I think we just have to stop with the fear-mongering tactics and stop believing these tactics that's being pushed forward, because it's just another tool to make us feel like, oh, Trump is if you vote for Trump, you're going to die. No, you're not. I just think some things are just not that serious. All right, let's talk about Trump being assassinated, or about to be, or it was an attempt that failed. Do I think it was real? No, I don't. I don't think it was real. I know. Go ahead, put on your tinfoil hat. Mine is about to come on, and it's securing itself right now in 3, 2, 1. That shit was fake as hell. There's a clip of him turning his head with his hand on his ear, and it appears as if he smacked his own ear with a fake blood type of rock. Like, I think it's called a pellet. There's something that is done to make these things look real. And like, on movie sets, on TV shows, obviously no one's really shooting each other for real, unless you're Alec Baldwin. But and we'll talk about him too. But the point is, he turned his head and got instantly shot, or his ear is bloody and it's just bleeding. But the blood is like, sure, when you show blood, don't they say when the oxygen of the blood, when the blood is met with oxygen is super red? I don't know. The point is, the clip that I saw on Twitter looked suspicious. And I'm going to see if I can find it again. I know I saved it. But the clip that I saw, I was like, I don't know. And, so the conversation now pushes to, why would he do that? What would be the reason? What would be the point of that? The reason is, we want to see a hero. We like a redemption story. We like to see, wow, this man survived. And his pose afterwards, showing his whole head after he got shot, making sure that he's still showing himself as, the strong candidate, definitely comes off suspicious to me. Now, I don't like Amanda Seales. Y'all already know. Something about her, I just feel like it's off-putting. But I think, just like that saying says, a broken clock is right twice a day. So let's go ahead and watch this, or listen, since y'all can't hear me. Y'all can't see me. Let's try it again. He instantly tapped the side, like he pounded his ear and went down, of course, because, shots. More shots went out. Someone's saying, what we doing? Screaming, chaos, hysteria. Ooh, stop right there. Okay, so I don't believe it. I know they say a life was lost. Yeah, if y'all can see my face right now, look, in these sort of situations in which there's a stage or there's an arrangement, X, Y, and Z, there are fake identities. There are people who play the part of, oh, I got killed, I'm dead, and we don't know the real name of this person. We don't have a photographic memory of this person in our head. So the image that you may see of this person who passed, can we even verify if this is a real person, if the name is actually who we are told it is? Can we verify if this person looks exactly like this? This person's not wearing, one of those like high-tech masks. If this person is not an AI picture that we see on the TV, because no one is actually seeing someone die before them and like is dead, like completely gone. I know I sound super crazy right now, but we live in this very intentional, what's the word? But very planned out, very manipulative. That's the word for it. Very manipulative society. And when you've seen so many of these shows like Scandal, 24, so many of these shows that would manipulate the masses, that would create these psyops for us to believe what they're hanging in front of us, this carrot in front of us, while the real mess is happening outside of that. That's what I find to be interesting and very suspicious. So no, I don't think he actually got shot with a real bullet. I don't think an actual real bullet got shot, got triggered, got aired, whatever the verbiage is. And I don't think anyone died. And whoever is this mysterious person who passed that people say one person died. No, they didn't. Maybe it's best y'all don't see my face for this episode. Maybe it's working for the best. But seriously, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Now, why? Yeah, let's talk about the why. So, yeah, this hero image, the American people want to feel like a hero is leading us to victory, is picking us up from the downtrodden state that we were in, or that we are in, this inflation, Biden not being able to speak well, all of that is downtrodden. Now, you have this president, or this incoming president, trying to present this image of a hero. I'm a fighter. I will fight for you. Who cares? I got shot in the air. I will fight and give you this black power fist in your face. That's what I think it happened. That's what I think it is. That's what I believe to be the case. And so does Amanda Seales. Let's talk about what Amanda Seales says and why DJ Academics was about to have a freaking heart attack trying his best to call her out. Because, alleged, seemingly, these are all my thoughts and these are all of my opinions. Nothing I say here is factual. Let's say that, okay? But I definitely do think DJ Academics is signed and bought out by the Republican Party. I really do. Because the way that he is going so hard for Trump, you would think Trump is sponsoring him. And that's what I think. That's exactly what I think. So let's go ahead and watch this clip, or listen to this clip from Amanda Seales. Actually, let's start from the beginning. Yeah, this one. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Because I watch her stuff. I'm like, oh, that's what it's called. That makes sense. There's blood pellets. And so that is what she is presuming. Not even presuming. She's standing on business. So there we have it. That is her theory, and I don't think she's wrong. I really don't. I gotta agree where agreement is had. I do. I think this is a ploy, and the American people, those who have been teetering, those who are quick to believe what the masses say or what the media says, this is for y'all. This is for y'all to be convinced of, to be manipulated of. And look, I'm talking on here as if I'm like against Trump. Y'all already know I've been learning myself to be more conservative than I've been Democratic, at least in recent years. And even growing up, technically I'm more Republican because of my upbringing in the church and all that jazz. The Democratic Party has just put a nasty taste in my mouth when it comes to gender identity and, he, she, it, they, whatever, and the education of sex in too early grades in the school districts rather than focusing on actual skills that matter to preserve us and build an economy that is sufficient and long lasting, especially in comparison to other countries. I can go on and on. So y'all, me saying this is not to say this is why you shouldn't trust Trump. No, I'm just saying this is what it is. This is what it is right now. This is what it is, period. We live in a society in which psyops happen frequently. And this happened on 713. Was it 713? Yeah, 713, which is the Houston code, the area code for Houston. Not to say this has anything to do with the Trump situation, but I just find it interesting. Like, there are particular dates that take place that have numerical value, that have just some type of hidden message. And I think that's just what's happening here. I don't think what we see is always what it is. And in me saying this, I still don't think Biden is the best choice for us. Now, is Trump the best choice? No. But would you rather? We're going to play that. I would rather. And I would also want to point out that we are so quick to push out, again, these like fear-mongering tactics and headlines and not do our own research. And this brings me to Amber Rose. So Amber Rose decided to make an appearance at the, was it RNC? That's what it's called. Republican National Convention. And in her appearance, she decides to just stand 10 toes down for Donald Trump. And that's her prerogative, right? Now, a lot of us Black people are saying she's a sellout. This is why you shouldn't invite everybody to the cookout. Okay, here's the thing. When was Amber Rose like Black, or when was she like someone who was like a staple figure in Black culture? I just never knew that. Yes, we knew her because of her relationship with Kanye West and then Wiz Khalifa, and then she just was always known as this vixen type of figure. Got it. But no one ever came to Amber Rose as this strong Black leader, this Black thought leader, this Malcolm X type of, like, what? One, she doesn't even look the part. Let's start there. She is half white, and that is visible. There's no denying that she is half white. It is clear, it is obvious, it is so. And she, again, has never portrayed herself as the leader of Blackness. And what is that? Again, we talk about like Blackness as it's this monolithic experience. But I'm saying that to say right now that even in that, she was never this leader in Black culture. She just was always in proximity to Black culture while being half white herself, half white, half Black, but visibly she is more white looking than she is a Black person. Can we have that conversation? So she is more that than she is anything else. But because she has aligned herself to everything Black, she was invited to the cookout. Yes, she's raising Black children. I think she has 2 now, right? One with Wiz and the other with someone else who's another Black man. I think he's like a stylist, but he's now with Cher. Yes, Cher, the legend disco singer. I think I would say disco for her. But nonetheless, she's not this like staple figure in Blackness. So this like betrayal that Black Twitter is feeling right now. I'm so this is why you don't invite everybody. Like, what? But let's get into what she said. Let's get into what she said at this RNC and see, just kind of dive into exactly what she said here. Her saying these are my people, this is where I belong is funny because Black people was her people at one point, right? This is where she belonged, or was she like trying to figure it out and she realized this is where she really belongs, here with all these white people. And look, her being with the RNC crowd does not mean she's only with white people. You know, I want these talking points to stop though. I really do. I think it's so tiring. It's so old. It's old. Oh, Republican is white, Democratic is Black. Can we move on? Can we move on from that? We are not a monolith. There are Black Republicans. There are white Democrats. And you being a Black Republican is not being a sellout. It's just so silly. Now, regardless if you agree with Trump, he still is under the Republican Party. So it just is what it is. Anyway, let's get into another clip from a show called College Hill. College Hill has been a long-running show since I was a kid, since I was a teenager. It has since revamped itself. It's not the same College Hill as it once was. The version that I like was more authentic, and it was filled with actual college students. No shade to the new cast and the new season of it all, but it's not the same College Hill. This is not your mama's cooking. This is not the same. You know, and let's get back to it in a second, but I want to point out this. A lot of the spaces that have been initially targeted for everyday people to infiltrate has now been usurped by celebrities, by these celebrity-esque people who are reality stars, like a Jocelyn. I hate that. I really do. I find it to be very infuriating because stay in your fucking lane. I sound like Godfrey, the comedian right now. No, but seriously, stay in your lane, because what about the lane, the layman person, right? The regular person, the civilian who simply wants an opportunity to get on TV, an opportunity to showcase some type of product that they have, or just like being a regular person. Like, hey, I work a 9 to 5. I live in this type of house. I'm from this neighborhood, you know, whether middle class, lower class or not. But these shows, College Hill was solely for actual college students. Like, the cameras will go on campus to an actual college, and you'll have these students who go to the same school. So say it's Texas A&M, for example. They will all live in the same house and be filmed just, their day to day. But anyway, now this show is filled with these reality show stars, these has-beens, these CD list celebrities, X, Y, and Z. And it's just not the same college show. Well, okay, let's get into this clip here. So this clip gives us some context as to why Amber Rose is not like us, right? Let's get into it. Okay. So I'm gonna pause right there. So we have here Amber Rose claiming that she is not just black, she's half white. And, guys, you guys know how Amber Rose looks. She clearly, she's very lighter skinned. So she's a lighter skinned individual. And this is nothing new, right? There's so many people out here who are of mixed race, who are biracial. This is nothing new. What is new, is this conversation of recognizing the whiteness. Instead, a lot of these biracial folks that I would see, they will only claim their blackness. And, they will only claim their blackness. They will only say, I'm black. And it's like, okay, but you're also half, like, your dad's also white, though. Like, like Logic, for example, where his dad is black and his mom is white, but they will solely claim their blackness. And people have long said, oh, it's the one drop rule from back in the... Shut up! A lot of y'all don't keep the same things, the same traditions from back in the day. Shut up! Like, what does that have to do with right now? You're still biracial. You talking about the one drop rule as if that erases any whiteness? No, you're fucking white as well. Like, you're two things at the same time. And I understand that concept is so hard to understand. Loving two people at the same time. I'm kind of turning it around real quick. But you can't love two people at the same time, damn it. Okay? But no, you can be white and black at the same time. You can be white, black, Hispanic, like whatever the fuck your parents did and their parents did, it trickles down to you. And I think it's unfair to erase that side. I know that side is like so unfavorable because, I'm black and I'm proud and being black is cool. Until it's not, right? Until you're redlined, until you're pulled over for no reason, until, sure, there are a lot of gripes to it. But the point is, Amber Rose in this clip is standing on the fact that she is also half white. And that needs to be respected, or, and it probably comes from a place of, I have a great relationship with the white side of my family. And her whiteness is not something that's like further down in her gene pool. It's directly in her face. Her father's white and her mother's black. That's in her face. And if she has a great relationship with her father, who's white, I think it is messed up to deny him and his existence, or just deny his existence by saying, oh, I'm black. And it's like, okay, you're black and you're white. Like, claim that too. That doesn't take away your blackness if you only say that doesn't take away your blackness if you say you're half white. Like, you are both things. And Jocelyn in this moment is unaware or just very ignorant and obtuse in her thinking. It's just, no, either you're this or you're that. Either you're all one or you're nothing at all. And that's not reality. Like, like literally, a lot of us are mixed with something. And so if you want to get into, well, who's black and who's not, it's like, girl, what? That's so silly. Now that's another conversation. You chose to be black? What are we talking about right now? What do you mean? So now let's get into the Rachel Dolezal of it all. Because Rachel Dolezal chose to be black. And she's been riding black forever. Though she comes from two white parents. She swear to God, she's like, so now this is trans situation happening here. I'm transracial. I identify more with black culture. So I'm black. But ma'am, your gene pool is actually Caucasian. Your gene pool is actually, you know what I mean? So it's asinine. You may find yourself more connected with a culture, but that doesn't take away the reality. And the reality is you're not black. I'm not talking about Johnson right now, but I'm talking about with Rachel Dolezal, for example. The reality is you're not black. Now, Rachel Dolezal has seemingly been very much of a proponent for black culture and black excellence and black advancement. And I think it's pretty commendable, to say the least. We may poo-poo on the fact that she is, and that's like my shame voice, that she poo-poo, that. We may do that with the fact that, oh, you think being black is a mask. You could just turn it on, turn it off. And it's like, well, I can't see when she's turned it off. She's been committed. And not only that, but she's worked in these organizations. So she's worked in the NAACP organization, helping to uplift black people. Now, someone could say, well, she took away the position from someone who's actually black. But look, a lot of people who are black don't give a fuck about blackness. Or don't give a fuck about helping other black people and having that be their whole personality. You see what I mean? Again, we're not a monolith. And whoever wants to help a culture, let them help a culture. It doesn't have to come from someone who's directly from that culture. Anyway, so Jocelyn thinks she's black because she chose to be black. And now she's hitting on Amber Rose because she doesn't claim only blackness. She also claimed her whiteness, and that's apparently offensive for Jocelyn Hernandez, the Puerto Rican princess. Like, girl, you're Puerto Rican and black? Now that whole conversation with Spanish people, because some of them don't even claim their blackness. If you want to go back to the history of it all, they're black. They're black. But because they understand the position of black people in America, they have denied their blackness, and they would directly say, no, I'm not black. I'm Puerto Rican. No, I'm not black. Even the Cape Verdeans. Again, I talked about this many times before. I grew up in Boston, and there's a huge Cape Verdean class population there. And they wouldn't claim their blackness, though Cape Verde is in the continent of Africa. So now it's like, okay, what is black? We have the conversation of what is a woman, what is black now? Because it gets muddy. It gets muddy, it gets blurred. And at this point, we're at a position where if you identify as black, that's acceptable. All right, so it ends with a brawl between the two, but the actual footage of that brawl is not released. And people are saying, oh, because Amber Rose spoke at the RNC, they should release that footage. So, child, God bless, child. And whether she did this to promote her true feelings of, about Trump and being a Republican and all of that, or she got paid to do it, So, like, how does that move you? How does that move you? Oh, because she has a platform of 2 million. So does a lot of other people. Like, a lot of people have these platforms. A lot of people have these these platforms, basically. And it doesn't mean anything. People gonna vote for who they want to vote for. Period. So you getting mad, how does that help you? You know, you stand 10 toes down on who you want to be president, and let someone else do the same thing, regardless if that's deferring. Deferring, I think that's the right word. Regardless if that's just different from you. I feel like people are just so ridiculous with it. Let that shit go. But yeah, so there we have it. Amber is not like us. Just kidding. So now more of the conversation is also, well, how is Amber saying she found her people, and Trump doesn't care if you're black, white, gay, straight. He cares about, what she say, the betterment of, she cares about the kids or whatever. It's funny because the irony here, Amber Rose is known for her slut walk movement, which basically she packaged it as women being able to own their sexuality and do whatever they want to do without being shamed for it. And so changing the connotation of the word slut to a word that is actually endearing, which is like actually laughable. But anyway, so yeah, there was a whole slut walk movement that took place not too long ago, but it hasn't been a continuing movement. I haven't heard of it since. So to have this woman be this speaker at the RNC is very ironic. It's hilarious. People, again, are taking things so seriously. It's life or death. It's not. It's the same thing as it was before. You just do your best in your own particular life. You just do your best in your neighborhood and your local surroundings. Continue to learn new skills and better yourself in your life so that you can be better off, so that you can better preserve yourself and your family. And that's about it. That's just really where we are with it. That's it. Like, just learn about getting money. so so there's that, right? So I played that clip because, again, it's just another ironic point here that she is someone who is an atheist. She promotes slut walks, being sluts, yet she is speaking at the RNC, which is the party that supports conservatism. Donald Trump wouldn't be, I mean, maybe he would, but is Donald Trump even a real Republican? Like, we've lost the real Republicans. This is not the same Republicans that I grew up watching. This is not the same family value. Donald Trump is known for his his sexist ways, his misogynist ways. Where is Melania? We haven't seen her with him. At least I haven't. I haven't seen her with him in support during any of these conventions, or she hasn't made a statement. Nothing. So anyway, the point is he's using this party as a way to get his shit off. So for Amber to be a part of this party, it's all a lie. That's basically what, if y'all didn't get anything else from what I just said, everything's a lie, everything's fake, and we have to stop getting so up in arms. Okay? Neither side is better than the other. And I know I'm on here talking about at least Joe Biden. No, not Joe Biden. At least Trump could speak, yeah, sure, but the fact that we have to even say that is that's where we are in our society. It sucks. It sucks. So yeah, there we have it. Trump 2024. It's a joke. I'm joking. Okay, so there we have it. Okay. Let's talk about this real quick. I came across this video of this Houston Black American woman. She got scammed by her Nigerian husband after 10 months of marriage. Child, let's just take a listen, because apparently there's an epidemic of this. An epidemic. Let's get into it. Oh, hold on. That's O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. I'm gonna see if I can find a shortened version. Okay, there we go, right here. It's real when not only is she saying his name, but she's saying it correctly. His full name. A Nigerian man's full name. And their names are like, what? Pronunciate your what? I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say your name. There we go, right there. So there we have it. There's an epidemic of Nigerian men scamming Black American women. Scamming them so much so that not only are they in a romantic relationship, but they enter the state of marriage with them, and they take them for whatever money they have and whatever credit that they have, use them for what they got. Now, I was reading the comments, because the comments is where it's at, not even the videos. Like, the video is cool, it gives you a little bit of information, but the comment section is where you get the tea, where you get more testimonies, where you get more details, more things to look away, more red flags, more alarm bells ringing. Like, go to the comments. So I went to the comments, okay? And not one, not two, but more than 5 comments that I read of women directly either just experienced this, is currently going through this, or like is in the midst of it, right? Or is just now realizing, oh my gosh, I've been noticing some things about my Nigerian husband, or it's quite alarming. Now, is it a solely Nigerian thing? I don't know. It could be other types of Africans, but nonetheless, let's talk about why is this happening. Well, okay, look, just like with anything, there's this image of America appearing to be just, the land of the free, this amazing place to be. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Come here if you want your dreams to come true. That has been the marketing ploy of America for so long. And I think like in recent years, it hasn't been as accurate and as strong as it was, because a lot of Americans are speaking out against America. A lot of Americans are, excuse me, I keep burping. A lot of Americans are saying, they want to leave. They want to go to Ghana. They want to go to these African countries because of how they're treating in America. And it's like, okay, but understand, it's going to be totally different. And there'll be a lot of curve to learn. But nonetheless, this is an epidemic. And again, it's because of the marketing of America and how it's seen to be this amazing place to be. Now, why is the Black American woman targeted? Marriage, right? Marriage, social media, and being around other people who may already be married. Let's say the other people that they're married to is not Nigerian men or other type of African men, but they feel like, well, I'm of this age, I feel lonely, I want to be with someone, and I got a message on my WhatsApp. This random guy just hit me up, and he said he saw my picture and thinks I'm beautiful, and he wants to be with me. And we get so caught up in the sweet nothings of it all. And he's Nigerian, that means he's strong, that means he knows how it is to be a man, a king, all these things. So anyway, a lot of Black women, especially those who may look a certain way, no shade to her, but she does give Risa Tisa vibes. Let's just say that for context, since I can't show myself in video for this episode due to my internet being out. But nonetheless, if you guys catch my drift. So she may have maybe struggled with dating in America, and maybe she had a few dates or a few boyfriends maybe, but it never contributed to something more important or more long lasting. And you finally have a guy here who is willing and able, and he wants to do it right now. Now, let's be fair too. I do agree with, if you know, if, you want to get married, and it doesn't have to take 10 years to figure it out. I think especially if you're at a certain point in your life, you just want to get started, or maybe you have some catching up to do. Maybe you did some time in prison and you just want to finally start your life. There's like different perspectives why people quote unquote rush into marriage. I don't even like that term rush, but a lot of people will say it like that. Anyway, the point is, she's targeted because she may not be conventionally attractive. She's targeted because she may not be as confident and is feeling very desperate to finally get married. She's targeted because a lot of women like her see marriage as this staple of happiness. Like, once I get married, I'll be happy. And it's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Because I talked about this before, how, we think like, once we get this job, once we move, once we get into this relationship, once I make this amount of, I still believe the whole money part though. I do think once I make a certain amount of money at the very minimum, once I reach my minimum desire of making money, of the amount of money that I want to make, I do think happiness will meet me there. I do. I'm not lying about, I do think happiness will meet me there. But you know what I'm saying though, right? Like, happiness is not contingent upon whether you get married, whether you have kids, whether you get this job, whether you move to this place, it's just, is a bunch of croconanny, and social media really makes us think that that is the truth. It really does. And it's more about yourself than it is anything else. It's about happiness within yourself and coming to terms with what is making you not happy and what can you do about it to help change that, right? So maybe if you're not happy with how you look, okay, what does it look like to create a schedule to implement these changes, right? So maybe going to the gym certain amount of times during the week, changing your diet, all of these things could contribute to making yourself feel better. But again, it's about how you feel, and it's not about anything else. It's not about anything else. It's not about whether you get this external thing or not, because again, you could get married and think this is it, and then it's not it. Like, you could have kids and you're finally a mother and you realize, oh my gosh, not to say you don't love your child, but you may find yourself experiencing postpartum depression. And though that is said to be temporary, but it still is a moment in time in which you're realizing, oh my gosh, I am more depressed than I thought I would be. Child. But here we are. The point is, she has been targeted and she is reaping the disadvantages from that target. This Nigerian estranged husband of hers stole money from her, and she's doing her best to fight back. And I just wanted to point that out, that if you are getting messages from someone on WhatsApp, please don't respond. I think if you didn't get anything else from what I said throughout this whole episode, don't respond to anyone on WhatsApp. If I could say anything else, don't respond to anyone on WhatsApp. Don't even on. I just got an app called the Next Door app, and I'm super late to the game. I've heard people talk about it, but I just didn't think, like it's an app for me. I felt like it was an app solely for those who are homeowners. Like, I guess it's not for me, even though it's available for everybody. But anyway, I recently got the house. Well, not yet. That's, hopefully, God willing, prayerfully. But nonetheless, I do live in a house complex type of situation. I live in a fourplex, and yeah, it's so different than where I used to live. I lived in a high-rise complex, apartment complex, and now I'm finally living in a different setting, and it's in a house setting, and I live in an actual neighborhood. I'm not just like in between buildings because I'm in a high-rise complex. It's different now. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get on Nextdoor app. And I also went on it because I wanted to know about any updates with the power while I was away in Austin. And I just learned about the Nextdoor app on the Weather Channel website. So I have been on it, right? So I'm on it, and I'm getting like this one person trying to connect with me. This person wants to connect with you. Like, I guess that's like their way of saying friend. And this like random guy suddenly wants to connect with me on Nextdoor, and I'm just trying to what? I'm not here to connect with anybody. And I don't know if he's trying to sell something. I think he does like rooftops or solar or something. The point is, I just got the app like 2 days ago. And on day 1.5, you're on my connect page talking about someone. Not only did he try to connect with me, but he first does like a wave, but I think that's like a obligatory type of gesture. But why am I targeted? So there's that, and then I didn't respond to that. And then next is connect with you. Hello? Did I say I wanted to connect? Did I say I'm here for friends? I only made posts. I made like 2 or 3 posts. No, not even 3. I think just 2. 2 posts primarily and solely about the power outage. And if we have been restored And so I'm not here to make, I'm not necessarily here to make enemies, but the point is, I'm not here for a good time. Shit, I'm not even here for a long time. I'm not here trying to create a community on here. I'm not. No offense to my quote unquote neighbors online, I guess, in this app. But the point is, you trying to connect with me was just so off-putting. But if I was a woman who was interested and, single and, was interested in trying to see what was going on, I'll accept that. Next thing you know, he's stealing $50,000 from me. But anyway, I'm sure maybe he wouldn't. But it was just so random and so unnecessary and just ridiculous. Like, look, I'm not. Child. Anyway, the point is, don't reply to anyone on WhatsApp. If you didn't get anything else from what I said, just understand that is the lesson here. All right, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It felt therapeutic. I was super down. And I'm learning as I am in this space of no electricity. No, I do have electricity. Oh, let me take that back. No, even while I was having no electricity, but I'm learning while I'm in this space of no Wi-Fi, aside from the Wi-Fi on my phones, that I can get really down, like mentally declined type of down, and I don't like that. So I am working on that. I'm trying my best to get through. But yeah, this like no Wi-Fi working consistency thing is really not it. But this is where I am. So me coming on here was so therapeutic and helpful. I'm happy I did, and I feel good about it. I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, just make sure you like this video on YouTube. Make sure you also like it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you are subscribed on those platforms. That is your way in supporting me, and I would greatly appreciate that. And that's about it, you guys. So I will check in with you all next time. Peace.